Hello, this is AJ here, and this is part 3 of my SL Reel combo. And please feel free to subscribe, follow, and take a look at what you're getting into. Below in the comments, you can share some of your real experiences, your second life experiences. This is meant to deal with what my observations have been after years in second life and why I'm here, a little bit about me, more of my real, how it affects my SL. And I'm sure you found that second life has affected your SL and vice versa. Today I'm going to be talking about why some people, and this is not just one or two, there's a bunch. If you've been on SL for a while, you can find it isolating. And even new people that I know try out SL, and their comments are, there's so many empty sims and land masses. You teleport in, and you're still all alone. How do you make friends here? I'm not sure I even know yet, but here goes. How do you do that in real life and what I found in my observations? Well, for one thing, having been on SL for years, obviously I'm not a real young person in real life. Let's put it that way. And what I've found is as you get older, you get more isolated. And you get to the point that you really don't care to be, whether you're around people, you don't feel the need to impress anybody or be a certain way or modify your behavior to suit people. So what I found is, as your adult children get older, for example, they rely more on their own family. Many of them do not live close to their older parents anymore. They're involved with their own family, especially if they're like career-minded people. They've went off to college, so to speak. They've established their own career. They've had families. Some people wait longer to have families, and because they're older, their parents get older, and their parents realize, hey, I'm by myself a lot. I'm living my own life. There's pros and cons to that. You have more freedom to do what you want when you want and not feel the obligation of children, but it can be isolating. You tend to rely on maybe a few close friends that you've established over the years, a partner if you have one, whether it be a spouse, a boyfriend, a girlfriend, some very, very close friend, maybe a friend with benefits, who knows what your situation is. But those you have a closer bond with, people also find that they establish more close bonds to their four-legged friends, whether it be cats or dogs or I don't know what your pet of choice would be, but fill in the blanks. How does this relate to SL? Over the course of time, I have found that you really don't hold on to friends that you can count on Second Life, because things are more fleeting here. You log in, you can log off. Some people have real life things going on and they might be absent for months. And if you're regularly logging into SL, you might discover somebody that you feel like you've grown close to just disappears off the face of the earth, so to speak. And that can be isolating. You establish, after you're in SL for a while, you may establish jobs. Just as real life, when you were younger, your jobs mattered, your family, your partner, all that kind of thing. Then as you get older, you have less of a job obligation. Perhaps you're even retired. It's said that a lot of second life involves older people. I've even heard it said that the old people died off, there would be no SL, because all the people that are interested in SL, the majority of them are older. Family, well, the advantage of clocking, you can clock in or clock out. Some people establish like children in SL, or grandparents, or godparents, or I don't know, a partner, or just friends. And over the course of time in SL, I just depend on my partner for the most part in Second Life. People come and go so much that, you learn to be alone, and it doesn't bother you as much. And if you have children in SL, like for role play, they come and go too, because they have a tendency to the next best thing. They get disenfranchised or disenchanted with a parent in Second Life, and it's pretty easy just to leave and find something greener grass someplace else, so to speak. Second Life, however, for me, in all this transition between growing older and Second Life, growing older and real, my situation in real life, for example, is I don't have much contact with my kids, really. I'm pretty much on my own. My real life relationship has been complicated over the years. For example, in my real life, I wanted separation, divorce, something, and I was told by my real life partner, if you can consider him that, I don't any longer, say, I'm not signing any divorce papers or separation papers or whatever. It just kind of leaves me hanging. So Second Life has been my go-to place to be what I want in a relationship I want and feel the freedom to get out. And that's just my situation. I consider it, over the years, I didn't think of it as abusive. I just thought that, hey, I'm having to bend more, or my way. I got used to not having my way at all, or becoming what people wanted me to be. Second Life gives you the freedom to not be what everybody else thinks you should be. And that's, a form of therapy. I rely on my partner and a few close friends in Second Life, but I don't depend on my friends much in Second Life, tell you the truth. And I role play, a family situation, but it's very loose because people don't really log in on a regular basis, except if you have a partner. You tend to share some real life contact information, so you can text or phone or do something else with them, so you have that connection. And voicing does create a connection that texting doesn't. If you just strictly text in SL like I did for some time when I was new, things can be misunderstood much more easily in text than they can voice, because you do have more clues of what's really people really mean when they're using voice. In Second Life, you can have an obligation of a job if you want, whether you DJ or create something, or some people I know have even done modeling jobs. They do nothing but report to a shop and model clothing and stand there. For the most part, they can be away from keyboard and something like that. Many in SL find that they end up with no family whatsoever and just a partner, and you kind of just migrate to having a partner for company. And that's about it, unless you are DJing, hosting, or something like that. Whether that's good or bad, I'll let you decide. What's your specific situation? Share it below. In the comments, be kind, be courteous, and let us know what you think. Why are you still coming in SL? Do you feel lonely here? Do you have a partner? Or you just pop in occasionally and you don't take it that seriously one way or the other? Early on in my second life, while I was here for a while, people would start saying, "You're too serious. You're taking things too seriously. You need to loosen up, not take relationships so seriously, what people say, or even SL too seriously. Go enjoy your real life." The way I look at that is obviously I have a real life. A second life is a choice. Some people call it an addiction if you regularly come here. I know sometimes the tendency is if you accumulate and you shop for a bunch of stuff and inventory, you think, I don't want to lose my inventory, and if I quit coming here, it's just money I've spent for naught. Sure, Linden is not as much as real life dollars. You're not spending as much real life dollars, but needless to say, it translates to some form of real life dollars. If you build a pretty good size inventory, you have more motivation to stay. You have human connections, avatar connections, if you will, even. You have a reason to stay if you're shopping on a regular basis, or if you have hobbies here. Of course, you have a reason to stay, and you don't feel as alone if you have activities going on in Second Life. The same for real if you have activities going on. My situation in real life is I have land in real life. That keeps me as busy as I want to be. But for me, I don't want to be stuck in feeling like I'm just doing errands and chores and things I've got to do, my daily real life that's required of me. So, yeah, I run to SL. And SL becomes an extension of yourself. It really does. Some people come here and they don't have any fear of sharing anything and everything of their real with their second life people they come in contact with. I would urge against that myself. Be cautious about people. You never really know who you're talking to here, even if you think, I have pictures of them, I kind of know them. The best way to get to know people and the core person behind that avatar is do things with them in SL. You see how they react to different situations, whether it be clubbing or creating something or playing games, board games or whatever with them. You chat, you get to know them. But remember, you never really know them. Some people want to meet up fairly quickly. I want to meet you in person. Be cautious. I have, and I'm not sorry about it. So there you go. This is part 3, and I'll be signing out. Take care of yourselves and behave.